Konnichiwa, hello and welcome. This is Roy and Ninjazilla 90, and today things are about to get a little spacey today because I will be reviewing the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla vs. SpaceGodzilla Fukuoka Decisive Battle version, baby. And I got some things to say about it. So, without further ado, let's get on with this review. And now, here we have the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla vs. SpaceGodzilla Fukuoka Decisive Battle version right here before us, and all of his super cool, awesome, fearsome, very deadly Fukuoka Decisive Battle glory. As you can see, this figure is very well sculpted by the famous S.H.MonsterArts sculptor Yuji Sakai, and he is highly detailed with some really cool, realistic, movie accurate paint apps, and of course he has that top-notch, top-quality articulation that S.H.MonsterArts figures are known for, or at least in some cases are supposed to be known for. But the question is today, does this one live up to snuff for the overly expensive price tag that we are spending on these S.H.MonsterArts figures for our collections? So, with that said, let's find out. First, going over detail, as you can see, his body is comprised of a really dark blackish charcoal gray colorization going all throughout his body, from his head to his arms to his legs and all the way down his back to the tip or barbed tip of his tail with the crystal barbs back there. We can see he is sporting sort of this red sort of armored layer of skin going from the top of his neck, from where his jaw meets the lower part of his chin, to his chest muscles, to his belly, and all down the bottom of his tail. We can see that dark crimson red, thick armored skin that SpaceGodzilla has on the front of his body and lower underbelly and under his tail. And of course we can see that he is sporting his big, gigantic, enormous, gaping, super cool shoulder crystals that SpaceGodzilla is known for, and these are also interchangeable on this figure with some battle damage shoulder crystals that I will be getting into later on in this video. And of course, getting onto those crystallized or crystal dorsal spines here, looking really nice. I like how the colorization on the Fukuoka Decisive Battle version does kind of like an alternates and kind of contrasts from having this very bright diamond white color to this very translucent rose pink color, looking really nice. I think it brings out this figure very nicely, just makes him look all the more cooler overall, and I really like this figure. This is basically his colorization toward the end of the movie, before technically when he was being defeated by Godzilla. This is basically the colorization he took up when basically SpaceGodzilla was being drained of all his powers and basically getting beat by Godzilla. But anyway, the front of his head, as we can see, bringing him up a little closer, we can see he's spotting his head crest there, which is a very translucent orange-ish yellow colorization. Looking really nice. His eyes, if I can get a closer look at them, if I can get them in focus, are of a orange-yellow colorization with shiny black pupils. And of course, we can also see that he's sporting some small tusk on the side of his face, very similar to Biolante. Some people in the fan base say SpaceGodzilla is made up of some of the cells from Biolante and Godzilla that got kind of caught up in a black hole and sort of mixed together in space and created SpaceGodzilla. Rather not that's true or that's canon. It's left up to debate. But anyway, the nails, the hand claws and toe claws on his mani pedis there are of a weathered bone white colorization, and so is the tusk on the side of his face and his beautiful bone white pearly whites there, looking very sharp. You don't want to mess with that. As far as articulation, starting with articulation, the jaw can open, of course, on a ball joint, so we can get a good close look at those finer details on the inside of his mouth. We can see, like I said, those very dangerous, sharp teeth that SpaceGodzilla has, and we could see all the finer details, like I said, inside of his mouth. We could see the top of his mouth, the roof of his mouth, all the inner linings in his gums, and the smaller veins and folds and crevices on his tongue. Yeah, like S.H.MonsterArts figures, they really incorporate a lot of detail. That's one of the reasons why they are so expensive. But they are very beautiful and very sharply detailed, and highly desired and highly desirable by the fan base for a number of reasons. That also explains one of the main reasons for the high price tag on these figures. These are not like your typical, multi-mass produced toy line. There's a lot of craftsmanship that goes into these. That's why we're paying these that absorbent amount of money. Some people might feel like that's pointless to spend that on a toy, but it is what it is, and you get what you get. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of cheaper lines don't have as much detail, because there's not nearly as much craftsmanship that goes into it. So, other than that, far as what we're getting for the price we're paying, they do need to really, on some of them, work better on articulation and, especially on playability wise, so we can actually pose them and move them how we want without the figures falling apart. I'm not saying that's the case with this one. I'm just saying, how the S.H.MonsterArts line of figures are overall. But anyway, getting more in depth with more articulation again. As I said, I just demonstrated that the jaw can open and close on a ball joint. We do get a ball joint at the head as well, so we can turn the head that far that way. We can turn it a little bit the other way. We can look up about that much, and we can look down about that much until the head pops off. And yeah, I gotta pop that head right back on. As you can see, the head pops off very easily. Even when you do apply clear nail polish to that ball joint, it's supposed to help tighten the joints, but that's not always the case with every figure. But anyway, as I was saying, the head can move, and the neck is also on a ball joint as well, as you are witnessing. Also, now moving right along down, the top abdomen is also on a ball joint, so we can rock him as side to side like so, and we can lean forward and back, and we can kind of sort of turn him, but you can't turn him a full 360, and I wouldn't try, and because if you do try to force it, that ball joint is going to snap, and more than likely you are going to break these dorsal spine crystals, and you really don't want to do that. Especially not with all the craftsmanship and hard work that goes into these figures. plus the price you're paying, yeah, that's not good. But anyway, like I just said, you do have some good ranges of motion at the abdomen because we do have an ab crunch and it's on a really good sturdy ball joint. For his arm articulation, the shoulders are on a ball joint, while butterfly style ball joint inside the shoulder crystals right here. Kind of they connect on the inside of these, so we can so we can't really rotate them a full 360, but we do have a good range of motion nonetheless. We can move them back about that much on a ball joint. We can move them forward about this much. We can spread them out to the side about that much and bring them back in. We also have a double jointed elbow, so we can bend those elbows all the way down and bring them back up like so. We also have a swivel in those elbows as well, so we can swivel those elbows all the way around a full 360 if we choose to. We also have a ball jointed wrist, so we can swivel those hands all the way around a full 360, and we can rock those hands forward and back for some claw swiping action. Same is true with the other hand, as you can see, just like so. And of course, moving right along down to the hips and the legs and the knees and the feet, practically the lower body portion of the figure. The legs, the hips on a ball joint can, not spread out very much at all due to the sculpt, but we can kick forward about that much. We can only bring the legs back about that much and then bring them back forward about that much. Same is true with the other side, as you're seeing. We can raise the leg up about that much and bring it down about that much, almost like he's doing a sumo stomp. But anyway, moving right along down to the knees. The knees are double jointed, but as you can see, due to the sculpt, I do have to pull down this sort of ankle sleeve piece here to bend the knee right here, and we can bend it back. Same is true with the other leg, so we can bend that knee about that far back and about this far forward. Foot articulation, the ankles are on ball joints, so we can rotate those feet all the way around a full 360, and we can rock them back and forth and point them forward and back like so. And same is true with the other foot, so we can rotate that foot all the way around a full 360 and point that foot back and forth. Now, as far as tail articulation, yeah, one of the best parts on the S.H.MonsterArts figures. We can move it about that far this way. We can bring it back and move it about this far this way. We can bring it up about this much, and we can bring it down about that much. So we do have a good range of motion in the tail. And as you can see, getting back to those very beautiful crystal dorsal spines, how they start at the top of the neck and they go all the way down his back to where they turn into these little small crystallized diamond spikes going all throughout his tail, to where we get to the very end where we have these very beautiful but deadly crystal barbs at the end of his tail. Very similar to Godzilla Evolved Thagomizer. So there's that. But anyway, getting more in depth with this figure, and getting into his accessories now. As far as accessories, he does come with these, I would say, energy wave effect pieces for when he's firing off his corona beam. What you do is you place these on his shoulders like so. I don't know that if one goes on one or one goes on the other. Okay, I think that's right. You place those on his shoulders for when he's firing off his corona beam like so. And you do also have interchangeable shoulder crystals with his battle damage shoulder crystals. So basically what we want to do is take these off, and we want to look at the bottom. So we want to make sure we put left on this side and right on this side, because S.H.MonsterArts figures are labeled from back to front, not front to back. So we have to take this shoulder crystal off. Basically we slide it off like that, and you see how it says L right there, and it stands for left. So we take this one left and we put it on, we slide that in like so, and now we take out the right shoulder crystal and we put this one in, the right shoulder crystal in like so, just like that, and there you have it, SpaceGodzilla with his battle damage shoulder crystals after Mogira shot him with his missile launchers. Looking really cool, and making SpaceGodzilla looking like he's not doing so hot to fight, but it is what it is, and I think this is pretty cool. Now, in case you're wondering where I got mine, I did not get mine from Big Bad Toy Store. I didn't order mine from Toys in a Box or the Godzilla website, and I didn't get it from eBay either. The only place that had him available when I bought him, because I got this one kind of late, was the Amazon, Tamashii Nation's official Amazon store. So that's where I got this one from, because Tamashii Nations is a part of the S.H.MonsterArts brand, so of course they're going to carry these figures. But anyway, with that said, it is now time for me to get into the final verdict, so let's get to it. And now for my final verdict on the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla vs. SpaceGodzilla Fukuoka Decisive battle version here. If I have to give him a score based on detail, articulation, and playability, I have to give him a drum roll, please. And this is going to be kind of tough, but I'm going to have to give him at least 4.5 stars. Why? Although I really do like this figure, and I think he has really awesome detail, and he has really good articulation, and playability is good. The only thing I do have to take points off is because the S.H.MonsterArts SpaceGodzilla figures are known for having one notorious flaw, and that is the heads popping off, as you witnessed on mine, like so. But other than that, I have to give this figure a pass on everything else. The detail is top notch. The articulation is really good. And I think he does have good quality playability overall. This figure does have good joint tolerance, as you can see, except for in the head area. That's one thing I feel that S.H.MonsterArts needs to work on moving forward, especially with their SpaceGodzilla figures. If not, Haya Toys does their own SpaceGodzilla, and the head falling off is not an issue. But other than that, like I said, I still recommend this figure. but only if you are a huge Godzilla fan and you want really awesome, high quality, high detailed, highly articulated figures. I'd say go for it. Unless you're like a parent watching this and you're looking for good quality Godzilla figures for your kids, yeah, the S.H.MonsterArts line is not the way to go. I mean, and you know, these are more geared toward adult collectors rather than children. So yeah, for kids, I would recommend like the Playmates line and maybe like Bandai vinyls, like Movie Monster series, but yeah, not these. But anyway, guys, I hope you've all enjoyed this review, and if you've made it this far into the video, thank you guys all so much for watching. I appreciate that greatly. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, stay safe, take care, God bless, and peace out.